Welcome to the big show. This is Investing with Confidence. I am your host, Joshua David, and we are happy to have you with us today. As always, I have my great friend, my great pal, and he's Mr. Financial Literacy today. Al, how the heck you doing today?
I'm feeling really good, Josh. How about you?
I'm doing really good. I mentioned that financial literacy term there because that's a lot of things that we talk about here on Investing with Confidence, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. And we're really combating financial illiteracy.
hmm
There's a big disconnect for, I guess, what the public actually knows and understands in finances and how the financial markets actually work. So today we're going to talk about how the financial markets work in all assets. We're going to talk about stocks, options, futures, and Forex. But Al, as we do every week, before we do that, hit them up with what's happening right now.
Well, what's happening now is really what's been happening for a long time. We're seeing the market go through these gyrations. We're seeing some really significant events that have taken place that people think would have moved the market in a certain direction and had more of a lasting impact. But really, what the reality is that most events have a short term impact on the market. And really, what it does for us as experienced traders, it just provides opportunities for us quicker than it would normally. And you mentioned something I think is really important in that when we talk about literacy or illiteracy, we see people come in all the time that are very accomplished, very successful in a career that say, "I don't know anything about the financial markets. I
Hmm.
just have never learned that." And the key or the important thing to remember there is that there really haven't been many places that education that it takes care of the illiteracy part
Hmm.
where you can get it. You're not getting it in schools
Definitely
for
not
the
there.
most part. We're seeing a few more schools now that are starting to maybe have little investment classes, but very little real in-depth information or education on how the markets work. So how we help our students really is to break down, first of all, the misunderstanding that there is about how the markets function, and then educate based on facts. And here's the real fact is that the vast majority of market activity is controlled by the big banks. And by big banks, we're talking about the major brokerage firms. And then we're going to throw in some hedge funds
Yep.
and some of the,
Uncle Warren.
Uncle Warren, that's
It's
Warren
it's the
Buffett.
big money. We call it the smart money.
Big money, the smart money, they control 80 to 90% of the activity in the market. And what that means is that virtually every big move, whether it's an up move or a down move on a price chart, almost is completely determined by that smart money. So would they think about it? Would they risk millions to billions of dollars every day without knowing that they have an edge? In other words, that they have a high probability of their trade succeeding. And that edge is what they use to help guarantee that they're successful. Would they do that if they didn't have that kind of edge? Well, they with hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. In fact, the markets trade by over $5 trillion a day. That's just in one market. So you've got multiple trillions of dollars trading every day. Those people, those big money companies and individuals, they don't just throw money at something and hope that it works out. They have confidence in knowing what they're doing, and that's we have changed the name of our show from the Retire Young Radio Show to Investing with Confidence because we think that is really key to be able to do this with confidence, no matter what your goal is, whether you're looking at short-term income, whether you're looking at long-term wealth, regardless of what you're trading. You want to do it with the kind of confidence that these big players have. Well, where does their confidence come from? Well, their edge, their confidence comes from having the tools, the insight, and the power to influence the markets. But we don't. We don't have what they have. But we can, with the proper financial education, learn to trade with them, not against them. Basically, it's copying. It's what you were told not to do in school. Now is the time to do it. Copy the people that have proven their success. And fortunately for us, they basically kind of telegraph to us what they're doing, Josh. And in these classes, we show you how we take advantage of that with our foundational investment strategy called Core Strategy, which is the same. It's the same basic strategy that's used no matter what your investment style is, no matter what asset you're trading.
You're exactly right. You need that core strategy, and you brought up a couple interesting topics. You mentioned 80 to 90% of the, I guess, equity trading volume is institutional, and
Correct.
there was actually some stats that came out this just recently that it's in 2019 the public individual investors, it was about 15.5%.
Right.
In 2020, it's now at about 19.5. So the public is investing more, or I should say, they are involved more in the markets.
Right.
But it's unfortunate because so many people are doing that without the education.
Right.
They're jumping in the markets without knowing what to do. I mean, think about this way: people that have a job, they probably learned how to do it. People that have learned to trade, they went to school for it.
Yeah. Nobody is born with that knowledge or the skills to do it.
Yeah, but so many people jump in the financial markets without that education, and it's really sad. And a couple other things too is you mentioned that people think there was the events that would move the market in a certain direction. Well, the key word is there. People think,
Right.
and your mind isn't going to move the market. You talk about the smart money, the big money. They are always moving these markets, but it takes a couple different things. You need to understand the facts on a price chart, because fundamentals don't move the market. It may speed it up a little bit,
Mhm.
but facts on a price chart where the institutions are buying, but also where the institutions are also selling. And you need to understand that it takes a skill. It's not just knowledge, but it also takes skill. And Al, you talk about more skill building and better investing decisions. Al, we got a jam-packed show here. I want to continue this discussion on the smart money so our listeners understand, and our viewers on YouTube, so they understand that they are moving these markets. It's the big money, the big dollars, and how supply and demand really works in these financial markets, and how the institutions are creating income with all assets. This is Josh and Al, Investing with Confidence. We will be right back.